giving you the real from A to Z surrounding the Dallas Cowboys. News, updates, rumors, transactions, takes, and more. So strap up, Cowboys Nation, and start your day off with A to Z Sports. Live with Will Steele.
3, 2, 1.
Here we go. Good morning, good people. Welcome to A to Z Sports Live, presented by the Cochran firm and Boston Scientific. We stream it live on YouTube and Facebook. I am your host, Will Skywalker Steele. Feels good to be back in the studio. Not gonna lie to you. It's been a while since I've been back here. Since what, Friday? So I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready to rock and roll, man. Today is Tape Tuesday. Still working on the name, but I kind of like this. We're going to come back on Tuesday and review some of what we saw from the bird's eye view, from the cartel view, as my guy Vach would say, and take a deeper dive into the offense and kind of get some more clarity on a few things. Dare I say, adjustment? Yeah. Dare I say an adjustment? Yeah, I think there was a slight adjustment made in the game on Sunday. Both tangible and maybe the other adjustment not quite able to see when you're watching it live. When we go back and we see, we're like, a little something there. We just got to take advantage of it a little bit better next week and moving forward. But we'll talk about that. We'll dive into the film room and we'll take a look at some of the good things from the game and some of the things that need to improve moving forward. And then in the roundup, the Cowboys do lose a player, but that's all right because we got a couple players that might be returning here in week 3. So stick around for that as well. What's good, Cowboys Nation? What's good, Bomb Squad? Shout out to y'all.
Bomb Squad!
I met a couple Bomb Squad members at Texas Live on Sunday. Yeah, on Sunday. And somebody in the chat said, man, I saw you at Texas Live. It was cool to meet you, man. It's always cool to meet y'all. So salute to you, brother, if you are still in the chat. It truly is cool because I like to talk about the Cowboys with Cowboy fans in person as well as I do with you guys here on the interwebs. But it's so much funner because you can feel my energy now, right? Like you can feel my energy through the camera, but it's a whole different ball game. That's why I say I have a good time watching the game with Cowboy fans. But I know a lot of y'all travel and go to the actual game as opposed to watching it in Texas Live. But if you happen to be catching it at Texas Live, come holler at your boy, man. Come holler at your boy. Special K was good. He said Dan Quinn's a mad scientist for sure. Today, we're going to actually dive into the offense. I did get through most of the defense last night, but I wanted to put together today's show offensively. But Dan Quinn, man, I just can't. I don't have any more words for that, man. I think he does a fantastic job with this team. And I think the defense, again, they're always going to give you a chance. You just need this offense to find its way. And I think we will, man. I think we will. David Jenkins says, Sky, I love the sounds of blackness, optimistic song, classic 90s inspiration. Shout out to my brother, Jay Will, for putting that together for me. It's a fantastic opener for this show, not just because it says, Sky in it, but like you said, it's a classic from the 90s. It's motivational. It's inspirational. Great song. But 6 to midnight, Marcus Hardison, Eagles are trash. 60-81 boy. Sonny Sims, 1. Shout out to you. Derek Fisher. Who we got in here? Jay Lombardi, Swain in the building, Stephen White, C.J. Richards. Okay, Facebook is back up and running today. That's good. Tom Nuts and Special K, Will Burney, David Jenkins, Mark Nesbitt, TC915, King Element, what's goody? Professor O dropping the bombs in there.
Bomb Squad!
Ooh! I was talking to Stephen White. I was talking to Vach yesterday, and I was like, you can have a lot of fun with the Cooper Rush's last name. I do the what a rush because of the Road Warriors, but he has Russian roulette. Steven, that's a double entendre, low key. Low key, it's a double entendre. Definitely when you go back and watch, and you're like, we was playing Russian roulette a few times with a couple of these passes, boy. I tell you. But I like that. We might have to keep that one there. Let's see. Dallas Cowboys hard hitters was good. 3 not so toxic. What up? My guy L in the building. King Element, I got you. Gilbert. Is it Mahia? I think I got that right. What's up, Gil? Who else got in here? Iceberg Q, Jay Lombardi, Hallelujah. You know, when I see that Hallelujah, part of me thinks this is Jesse Holly's burner account. I'm going to clip this and send it to him. So I don't know, man. I think you might be Jesse Holly's burner account. Matt Goddix, what's up? Gregory, John Garcia, and the many more coming through. I see you, Oscar. I see you. Appreciate y'all for being up in here. How y'all like that, though? Russian roulette. Damn, I like that. Really, it could be a triple entendre because we're rushing the ball. Like, we got to rush the ball, then Cooper rush, and then he also, you might blow yourself up if you let Cooper rush throw too dang on much. But damn, that's good. I like it, Cowboys Nation. I like it. What's good, Twan in the building? I see you. Let's get into this, man. Here's what we're gonna do today on Tape Tuesday. Got the roundup. We'll get the news. Then we'll come out of that. If you guys want to call in, maybe we'll get a few more calls before we jump into this film room. And we'll take a look at, the first drive. And we'll also take a look at what happened after, because things got weird after that second drive. And I think I figured out what happened. But while we didn't succeed, I feel like you can take a piece of that and move forward, not just with Cooper Rush, but with also Dak Prescott when he returns. But we'll see if Kellen Moore keeps at it. And I'll let you guys know that here in a second. But let's get to this morning roundup.
It's time! It's time! It's time! It's time!
It's time.
It is time for...
It's time for the morning roundup. Round 'em up, boys.
Oh, they do it! Hey! Oh, they do it!
Hey. Yo. John Ridgeway fans, drop your emojis in the chat, man. Let me know how you're feeling about John Ridgeway getting claimed by the Washington football people. That's right, Cowboys Nation. If you happen to just not be on the internet yesterday, the Cowboys did not get a chance to get back John Ridgeway, their 5th round pick, nose tackle. How y'all feeling about it? I'm not hurt off of this. I'm just not. And maybe I would have been if this defense wasn't what it was. Maybe I would have been if Quentin Bohanna hadn't stepped up, if the Neville Gallimores of the world didn't exist, if, you know what I mean? If this defensive line wasn't as deep. But Ridgeway was always the 12th man. He was always the odd man out. And when they decided to actually carry him and cut other guys, I was like, okay. But those other guys actually made it through. Well, they must have knew something, because Ridgeway did not make it through the waivers. And he has been claimed by the rival Washington football people. Good luck to him over there in Washington. This fits them. This absolutely fits Washington. They'll take all the 1 techs, all the 3 techs, all the defensive linemen. You guys remember Matt? Is it Ioannidis? Matt Ioannidis, is he still over there? Like, these are the type of guys they like to have in that front 7. So, as our guy likes to say on this channel,
It is what it is. It is what it is.
I'm doing fine. I'm not tripping about this. Q said, "All right, big fella, it was nice having you, but I got this." You know what I mean? And I don't mean to diminish the position, but the league has. It is what it is. Like, nose tackle, these guys can be got day 3 of the draft and in free agency for a little bit less. Now, if you want to talk about guys like Vita Vea, you get those, and Jordan Davis, you get those guys early in the draft. He was never one of those guys. So appreciate your time here, John. I wish you good luck. This really isn't about you. It's just about how deep this team is, in my opinion, on the defensive line. We got Big Daddy B. Malcolm B. Big Daddy B. That's hilarious. Dalton Schultz. So y'all remember he went out yesterday or on Sunday with a knee injury. He did not play in the final drive of that game. And we kind of talked about, hey, we'll keep our ears to the ground. I'm sure something will come up over the next 24 hours. And it did. Reports came out he's dealing with a PCL issue in his right knee. McCarthy said they will monitor his progression throughout the week, which in reality is good news. According to another report, the damage in the right knee could have been more substantial, and he was expected to avoid significant absentee. So, if this is a PCL injury like a Zeke, with all due respect for Schultz, it's not like he's an explosive athlete. It's not like, he's a guy that's going to rely on his explosive cut ability or anything like that. So he may be able to play through this thing. But what you don't want to do is fall into a trap like Ezekiel Elliott last year, where they did put him out there and he was a shell of himself. For as important as Schultz is going to be to this team, granted, he wasn't big in the game on Sunday. In general, he is. I think you need to. I'm not a doctor, right? I'm not going to tell them what they should do, but I'm just thinking about what happened last year. Zeke was not the same, man. Zeke was hobbling. Zeke even said, "Hey, this is affecting me." So if it's going to affect Dalton Schultz, do you or do you not rest him a little bit? I think you do. And another reason why I think you do. We're going to talk about that first drive of the game, the first two, really. That boy Jake Ferguson can block, man. I'm just saying. Had one issue in space on the one screen. I hate that dang on call, but in the booth, he the truth. Jake Ferguson, man. Now I'm kind of excited to see. All right, let's see what he can do from a passer standpoint. He had some opportunities in this game, and you'll see a few of them once we get into the film room. The one thing that we haven't done, that we didn't do out of the 12 personnel, either in week 1 or 2, to be completely honest, is take advantage of having two tight ends that can get busy from a receiving standpoint. There were some opportunities for Jake Ferguson. Just didn't get to him. But Peyton Hendershot will be another guy that can get involved. And I wonder if, due to the circumstances, Kellen Moore decides to do different things with these guys, right? Peyton Hendershot can stretch the seams a little bit better. Do you send him up there more? He can do more athletic things. Jake Ferguson is literally a baby Schultz, man. I mean, a guy that came in as a blocker, can do receiving things, but I think he's a better receiver coming in than Dalton. Problem is they're rookies. So rookies are going to do rookie things from time to time, but that's what you got to rely on at this point. So we'll see. We'll keep our ears to the ground again. And by the end of the week, we should know more about Dalton Schultz. But we do know about Michael Gallup. Not only Michael Gallup, but Jason Peters. McCarthy stated that Michael Gallup will get a full slate of work this week, and a decision will be made later in the week on his return. But from all indications of those, down there with their ears to the ground, directly listening to McCarthy, if him and Jason Peters handle this workload this week, I think they both play. I think they both play, Cowboys Nation. And that then begs the question, what do we do with Jason Peters and Michael Gallup when they get back? When I say what do we do, obviously you play them. But do you just throw them out there in the fire? Or do you bring them along slowly? Do you throw them out there in the fire, or do you bring them along slowly? I think it's two different answers. I think for Peters, throw him out in the fire. Sounds crazy because he's 40. But he said, I just need a couple weeks and I'm good. I'm going to trust you. Offensive line, bit different than what you got to do out there at wide receiver. And Peters isn't coming off of an injury. Peters just needs to get acclimated. Peters just needs to get his feet up under him. Whereas Michael Gallup is coming off of a ACL injury. Hasn't played since December of last year. So maybe you kind of just ease him in next week. Continue to lean on the ground. maybe he, instead of getting 40, 45 plays, he gets 20, 25 plays until he kind of gets going. Now, if he's in that game and he's like, hey, coach, I'm good. Like, I feel good. I thought I could just ease in, but I think you could just throw me out there and we can go after the first quarter, then cool, do it. But should they ease these guys along? We think they should just throw them in the fire, Cowboys Nation. Danny said fire. Point blank, period. Snap count on Gallup says, Will. I'm with that. I'm with the snap count on Gallup, but I'm with the fire on Peters. By the way, I'm not sure how many people, damn it, King Element, hit me up on Twitter and make sure I get that he's a man, I'm 40. I'm a man, I'm 40 drop. How many people, because I see this on Twitter and I'm not familiar where this is coming from, believe Jason Peters should play left guard. That's another conversation now we can have too, right? We can have a whole other conversation on what to do with Jason Peters. I'm just talking about getting him in there. But if you're going to get him in there, I guess we can have the conversation. The hell do you put him? It's an easy decision for me. You put Jason Peters at left tackle. Make sure that music's not too loud. You put Jason Peters at left tackle, where he's played over 12,000 snaps in his career. Guess how many snaps he's played at left guard? 1. 1 snap. Think it's much easier to ask your rookie who played left guard all preseason, played left guard in training camp, to kick back down inside where things aren't all, when I say aren't all that different, I'm not saying like I played lineman. But if you listen to Tyler Smith, he said, hey, I can handle going from left guard to left tackle because my sets don't change. Like, things don't really change that often. My hands, things aren't a drastic difference from left to right. I'd rather ask Jason Peters, a guy who's been doing this for 20 years, to go out to a position where he's excelled at for 20 years. And as of right now, I did reach out to a source. Only one, so you can't take it as 2 sources. Usually you can confirm it, but I did reach out to a source and I said, hey, is there anything going on down there with Jason Peters to left guard? Are they practicing him at left guard? Is there buzz about him playing left guard? And he says, no. I've heard nothing about it. So if we do hear anything about Jason Peters to left guard, I got you. We'll figure it out. But I think your best 5 is definitely Peters involved, and it's going to be Peters involved, in my opinion, at the position where he's excelled at for a very long time. So me, Jason Peters left tackle, Tyler Smith left guard, Biadasz, who's playing well, Zach Martin, Terrence Steele. That's my 5, Cowboys Nation. It's my 5. And the main reason why I'm advocating for Jason Peters to get in there is because I think Fournier, who was a 3rd string left guard, is just that. I don't think Fournier right now at left guard is a guy you want to just continue to be your starter if you can upgrade from that position. And you can. Hell, you may be able to upgrade from 2 positions. And it's not a knock on Tyler Smith. Tyler Smith, for a guy who hasn't played left tackle in training camp or preseason, Tyler Smith has done well. He's done well. But based off the film I saw from Jason Peters last year and the film I see from Tyler Smith, Jason Peters still, I think, is a better left tackle right now. I think the debate is, well, do you keep him out there to continue to develop and risk a faulty leak on the interior with Fournier? If that's how you want to do it, then just know you'll be living with that weak link. And for a good bit of that game, man, it was evident that Fournier was struggling big time. I mean, he's giving up, I think, something like 7 or so. I might even more than that. I got to go to the stats. He's giving up a lot of pressures. If you're on the interior, you can't give up a lot of pressures on the interior. You know what I mean? And, I mean, you could argue he might have cost you some points last week. When I say last week, week 1, where CeeDee Lamb is just streaking down the field against Devin White. Safety is tailing. Dak is reaching back to throw it up, and he just can't get it there because he's getting hit due to a bad block combination of Fournier getting beat and then Tony Pollard trying to pick up a Shaq Barrett. So, but I'll leave it at that, man. That's my 5. Y'all let me know how y'all feel about y'all 5. Let's get the hold up, B. 1 second, B. 1 second. Let's get to the horns real quick. Which, of course, the Pulse of the Nation is sponsored by the Cochran firm. Our guys Larry and Brian over at the Cochran firm have been holding down the DFW area community since 2005. This is the last and final firm that Johnny Cochran himself blessed before he left us, man. And they really take pride in that. They handle the most challenging civil cases involving personal injury, wrongful death, fraud, truck, and automobile accidents, and a ton more. All of their civil cases are handled on a contingent fee basis, meaning if there is no financial recovery, they charge no fee. So contact 1-800-THE-FIRM or schedule your free consultation today at CochranTexas.com. All right, let's get my guy B in the building. What's up, man?
What's good, my G? How you doing, man?
I'm good, you know. It's not Victory Monday no more, but it's a victory week, so we'll take that.
There we go. You know, man, I'm going to just get right to it. I don't have too much to say about the game as a whole, because I'm sure you did a lot of that yesterday. But just going forward, you know, I noticed something, man, and just watching the offenses around the league and just watching football, I didn't realize how much this offense missed or would miss Blake Jarwin and his ability to get up the seam. And the speed from the tight end position, his ability to just attack the seams, man, Dalton Schultz doesn't do that. And I saw a lot of just tight end action throughout the entire week. These guys, they may not be blockers, but their ability is just to get up the seam. And I was sitting there watching, I was just like, damn, why is Dalton Schultz not getting up the seam like that? And I was like, oh, wait. He was never that guy for the Cowboys. It was Blake Jarwin.
Well,
and Dak Prescott trusted him.
Well, in fact, if you allow me to push back on that, Blake Jarwin was the seam stretcher, but there were a handful of plays last year where Dalton Schultz did attack the seams, and he made some clutch catches down the seams. One specifically against the Raiders for a nice touchdown, beautiful catch and throw by Dak Prescott and Dalton Schultz. I don't know that I would place the blame on Blake Jarwin for not attacking the seams more so than the scheme. Because the play design has to go, has to call for him to attack the seams, and not just him. Jake Ferguson, right? Or Peyton Hendershot, whoever the hell your second tight end is going to be. Sean McEwen last year. Like, they have to call it and dial it up for them to attack the seams. And for whatever reason, we don't get enough of that. But stick around. There is going to be a play where Jake Ferguson did attack the seam and Cooper Rush just missed him.
Yeah, I would like to see a little more of that, man.
Me too, bro.
I feel like, it would help out, like getting these tight ends involved. You know me, I'm big on controlling the middle of the field. When you have to adjust to what's going on over the middle of the field, man, it opens things up. It's almost like your running game. That's what the Patriots done for years. They controlled the middle of the field with Tom Brady.
Yeah.
And he's still doing it. And when you have to adjust, it just opens things up, man. Next thing is, man, I didn't get to call him yesterday, but, DeMarcus Lawrence, man, just a steady veteran, man. Every week, he does a lot of the dirty work that sometimes doesn't get praised. But this defense, I would hate for this defense to have to go through a stretch without him, man. He's just so important to the defense versus the run, man. He's just a solid dude for what they ask him to do. And matter of fact, he's a beast at what he does for this defense, man. Yeah. And it just continues to allow a lot of these guys to be in a position to make plays, man. And sometimes, that's what you got to do if your role called for it. Go ahead, my G.
Yeah, but are you done with DeMarcus? I do want to talk about D-Law real quick. I think.
Oh, you begin ready.
Yeah, if you want, I just want to kind of respond to that D-Law before you get to your next point. I think he needs to get credit for being a leader in the sense of, hey, man, I realize what you guys are asking me to do for the betterment of this team, and I'm willing to do it. And what I mean is, if you guys notice, D-Law is not getting a ton of opportunities to rush from defensive end on obvious passing downs. D-Law is kicking into B-gap. D-Law is playing more of that 3-tech, and I do think that is helping Micah Parsons and DeMarcus Lawrence's, the Dante Fowlers of the world, these guys to, do some good things. So if he's not going to get you, which I actually had Dante as a second leading sacker on this team. We'll see if that holds up. If he's not going to be a 10, 12 sack guy, which I didn't expect to be, I was more so looking about 8 sacks this year. Then I always ask this of him: be elite at what you do best, which is being a run stopper, right? And still affect the game from a passing department. I've readjusted my lens long ago from DeMarcus Lawrence. And I was hoping fans would as well, since he took less. And when I say took less, I mean they got a new deal, and the deal was not nearly as much as it cost. So I think that was the big problem with fans and DeMarcus Lawrence. It's like, hey, dog, we paying you $20 million a year to go out here and get all these sacks. That's fair. I always say that is a fair criticism, because you guys are expecting that from him, because they did pay him for that. Well, he's only getting $13 million now, which is well below the market value for a defensive end. So if he's taking less and he's taking on a different role per se, and he's excelling at it, by the way, y'all, he leads all defensive ends in tackles for losses against the run. So I'm okay with what he's doing right now, because this defense, to me, you can't see me right now, B, is playing like one as opposed to 5 individuals. Look at my hand, as opposed to individuals. So I'm good with it, brother.
And me too, man. I'm good with it, and I've never looked at DeMarcus Lawrence like a pass rusher. In this league, the positions, they evolve so much, man. You got edge, you got a guy that's a designated pass rusher, and then you have your defensive end, which is your guy that's just a combination of all three. He's not great at one thing, and that's what DeMarcus Lawrence is. He is a defensive end. And if DeMarcus Lawrence is getting anywhere from 7 to 9 sacks, I think when you pay him $13 million, and as good as he is against the run, to me, you're getting your money's worth. And I just wanted to show him some love, man, because I know what this defense looks like without him for the most part. And you don't got Randy Gregory's and all these other guys that you had last year. So he's important, man. And I just wanted to make sure I shouted him out and showed him some love, man, because he that dude. And I think he's the heartbeat of this defense as far as his ability to sacrifice and let other guys make plays, man. And that's all I got, man. And I'll tap in with you in a couple of days, my G. I'm going to just get off the line and listen, my G.
All right, B. Appreciate you as always, man.
My man.
Good first call. Always good starting off with B. Yeah, I'm with him. I want to give a little bit of love to D-Law as well. I readjusted my lens, so I did that a while back, But I feel y'all that were like, oh man, D-Law is getting paid so much money, he needs to do X, Y, Z. Fair. That's fair, But we got a Micah Parsons now. His leadership, in my opinion, his ability, in my opinion, is on an entirely different level. So I'm looking at DeMarcus Lawrence as kind of that budding star, that Robin to Micah Parsons Batman. And if he can be Robin, I think he can flourish in his role. Just his number one thing to me is he just got to stay healthy. You know what I mean? D-Law is going to come up with some impact plays this year. Look at what he did when he came back. Yeah, I mean, he had like 3 sacks towards the end of the year, an interception, return for a touchdown, a couple forced fumbles. I think he had 3 forced fumbles on the entire season. So D-Law is still an impact player. But just imagine now D-Law isn't the guy. That's great. That's a great thing. I get to one more caller, and then we'll jump into the film room. Let's get to 518. What's good, 518?
Yo, Scott, what's good, man? It's Rob Wells, man. It's good, man.
Rob Wells, what up, Rob?
Cole, hey, ain't nothing, man. It's chilling. All right, so the defensive line, we might have the best defensive line in the league, man. I mean, as far as depth-wise,
yeah.
I mean, because San Francisco might be competing with us in that category, but Micah Parsons, man, come on, man. On the end, man, no one can stop him, man. No one can stop Parsons versus and now, all right. So Parsons plays the end against Tampa Bay and Cincinnati.
Yeah.
Now, in against the Giants, what I would do, I wouldn't even have him on the line at all, unless it was like third and long, definitely passing situations, stuff like that. Because you want to have him spy. I would have him spying on Saquon the whole game. Saquon ain't going nowhere if you got Micah on him. You know, so I just see that as a difference. And the second point is, So DeMarcus Lawrence, definitely, yeah, he needs to be the Robin. I mean, he's definitely going to have to be the Robin because he's not a 3-down end anymore. He's a situational run-stopping end. I would not say he's a 3-down end because I would kick him inside because you need him to stop the run and pass rush.
So is he not a 3-down player, or you're saying he's not a 3-down end?
No. He's definitely a 3-down player.
Okay.
He's not a 3-down end. Yeah, he's not a 3-down end. I wouldn't put him in third and long. I wouldn't have him keeping containment on running quarterbacks now, because he gonna get smoked.
DeMarcus Lawrence? You all over the place. Hold on, you all over the place. If you want to say, you don't want him as a 3-down end, that's whatever. But to say he doesn't keep containment, or you don't want him to keep containment, is false. He's your most disciplined defensive end you have on this team in regards to keeping containment. So, I just want to let you know that's not true. He actually does extremely well containing on this team. So, but carry on.
All right. Well, maybe I was thinking about Chauncey Golston, and I was watching film. I seen him get smoked a couple of times. But all right. My third point is like I said before on my last call, man. It's up to Kellen Moore, man. The defense gonna show up. Kellen Moore, he got to do his thing, man. I mean, everybody said, "Oh, he's in his bag, he's in it." Look, Kellen Moore got to show up, and he got to stick to that run because Cooper Rush. I mean, obviously, everyone knows Cooper Rush ain't gonna throw for 300+ yards every game. Everybody knows that. But you need to give Pollard more carries, man. I would have Pollard get just as much carries as Zeke right now because, all right. Let me back up. Pollard can't pass block for Ish. But I would definitely give him more touches, man, because especially early in the season, you don't want like you want to utilize Zeke later on in the season. Give him them heavy carries when it starts to get cold and snow on the ground and stuff like that. That's what I would do, and it kind of reserves Zeke until the end of the year. Let Pollard get off in the beginning of the year, let him get his touches, everything like that. Then let him play the reserve back and let Zeke be the lead back.
That's
what I would do.
Yeah. All right, man. Appreciate you, man. Good call.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, man. TP, we all believe TP needs more touches. 13 touches on Sunday for over 113 yards, over 110 yards. So TP showed, put the ball in his hands, he could do some damage. Actually, gonna bring up some TP stuff here in a little bit later. But all right, let's jump into this film room if y'all ready, man. Yeah. I should have gave him the bell, but he fixed it up. Yeah. Y'all calling for the Vecna. Oh, y'all wanted the Vecna bell on him. Nah, I ain't gonna do that to him. DeMarcus Lawrence, not a 3-down end, but a 3-down player. As long as you say he 3-down player, I agree. I think DeMarcus Lawrence, when you took him off the field against the Bucs, you go back and you watch the tape, it was a clear difference. It was a clear difference from a run-dependent standpoint. I don't think DeMarcus Lawrence is going to be a major factor in the pass rush department on teams that do what the Bucs did, and that's get the ball out fast. That's not his game. But if you're going to hold that rock a little bit, I think he can make some noise from the end position. But to be fair, who would you rather have against La'el Collins on 3rd and long? DeMarcus Lawrence, Micah Parsons. They elected to go more with Micah Parsons. And I thought they would do a little bit more DeMarcus Lawrence there and take advantage of 73 on the other side. That's why I had D-Law coming up big in this game with I think I said a couple sacks. Dorrance actually got the 2 sacks on the other side. But it wasn't too many I shouldn't say too many opportunities. They specifically targeted these tackles with Micah next to D-Law, which I like that, by the way. Don't stop it. Don't stop doing that. Don't stop doing that. All right. Before we get into the actual Tape Tuesday portion of things, I do want to revisit the first drive of that game. I talked about this yesterday on the opening before I got a chance to actually go back and watch the first drive. Just from what I had saw live, and first 2 drives, I should say, but we're specifically talking about this. But the first 2 drives of the game, in my opinion, were very impressive. It seemed to be deliberate. It seemed to have a flow to it. And I had put some notes down from what I saw from individuals on this one. And this, by the way, is the first drive, the film that you're watching now. If you're listening, sorry. And I had on Twitter, I said, boy, Ferguson blocking. Like, Ferguson is blocking. And that's why at the top of the show, I talked about Jake Ferguson. Jason Ferguson used to be the defensive tackle. Jake Ferguson being a guy I'm okay with if Schultz does have to miss a game or something like that. Now, he's a rookie, so I'm not expecting a lot of things, but from a blocking standpoint, I feel good about it. Look at him here. Look at him here, Jerron. I like it. He gets me excited when he's blocking. I also said, Tyler Smith is a truck coming at you. Something I noticed, and again, I'm still learning to be O-line guy, but it was exciting to see John talk about this. His initial punch, he was coming with way more momentum, and I had tweeted out jokingly, and there it is right there. Look at 91. I tweeted out jokingly that Tyler Smith pretty much sunned and hemmed up Hendrickson on the first play of the game. He comes out, he fires, nowhere. I mean, Hendrickson tries to move Tyler Smith, he goes nowhere. I would guess to say that Hendrickson felt from that first play, I ain't gonna be able to beat him that way. I'm not going to be able to beat him that way. I might have to use speed. I might have to use speed to power. I might have to use more technique. But straight up going into his chest, it's not working. But from a running standpoint, dude he's just a truck, man. He's a truck coming at you. Keep pulling him. Keep using him on the move. There was more deliberate effort to do that in this game from quarter 1 through 4, not just quarter 1 like last week. And I love to see it. Also had Cooper Rush's 2 best throws of the game, and I probably should have said 3 because I forgot about the one that I wanted to talk about that we'll get to in the film room. 2 of his 3 best throws in the game came in the first 2 drives, in my opinion. You had the 4th down beauty after the incomplete pass on 3rd, got the 4th and 2, and I think this wasn't the over route. Yeah, it might have been the over route. Yeah, it was the over route. It was the over route to Noah Brown on the over. Just a great pass. And then can't remember the other one. Oh, the second drive. The second drive, I think, was the where Cooper Rush on 1st and 10, they jumped off sides and he threw it up to Noah Brown. But I think 2 of his better throws came in that drive. And then I had TP. He just has a supernatural feel on the edge. And that was more so about the second drive of the game. And let me correct some people that believe that Tony Pollard can't run between the tackles. He had the longest run between the tackles, 17-yard gain. TP can do a number of things for you. He's not a bruiser. I'm not saying you run him in the A and B gap all game, but if you got the defense on their heels, I think he can do some good things in between the tackles. So, but I had TP he has a supernatural feel when he gets out on the edge, man. He sees it and he can get skinny and he can run right off the tackle or center or guard. Shout out to Tyler Biadasz on that pull for the Woodbin touchdown. They called it back to the 1-yard line, but on that 50-yard gain or whatever it was, Biadasz and Tyler Smith had a nice pull and he just ran right off of him, got skinny, and just hits another level, man. I don't care if it's blatantly obvious. If TP's in the game, I'm going to make you have to defend him running on the edge. Just going to make you. Because one of two things are going to happen. You're either going to overcommit and TP will see it and cut back, and now he's going the other direction. Not cut back behind the line of scrimmage, but cut back in front of it. Or he's just going to outrun you to the spot. And I said this to Jesse. I wonder if offensive or defensive linemen, linebackers, safeties, corners, whatever. I wonder if defenders kind of underestimate his game speed. Because he just puts on a different gear, and that's how he can get you those big runs. So those are some of the notes that I took away from the first two drives of the game. Ferguson was blocking. Tyler Smith's a truck. Rush had two of his best throws in those first two drives. And Tony Pollard just has a supernatural feel, Cowboys Nation. Supernatural feel. See me peek in here. We got one more call. I'll clear the call lines before I get into the actual film room. What y'all talking about in here, though? CJ said TP is dangerous on the outside, 100%. William Anthony said TP between the tackles need just a small hole. That's true too. And Toxic said, I don't care if he can't block, use him to his strengths. Facts. Week 1, his strengths were not blocking, but they decided to do a lot of that. Week 2, believe it or not, I think even in one of these clips I'm gonna show later, he did pick up a good blitz, but I still don't want him doing that a lot. He has to do it from time to time, but not 6 times. You know what I mean? King Element. He said, wow, we have this running back who is electric and can even get dirty yards between the tackles. But Zeke needs more touches because he can block. I don't think this will ever go away. I get both sides of it. To me, just use them to their strengths. That what bugs me is they don't. You know what I mean? Like last week, we're going to ask Tony Pollard to block. This week, we're going to ask Ezekiel Elliott to do outside things. That's not his game no more. All right, 803. What you got before we get into this into the tape? What's up with you?
What's up? I'll make this real quick because I might take my son to an appointment. But I just want to speak on the matchup for next week, and specifically LVE and Jabril Cox and him being inactive. Is him being inactive is just because LVE is playing to a pretty good level, and they just want to keep Cox on ice. You know, every day away from that injury, he'll come back better in the long run. Or is LVE actually outplaying him? I know we don't have access to practice anymore, but just based off your knowledge and what you think may be going on between those two, because I like Cox out there for the matchup with Saquon and Daniel Jones with his legs, but if he's not out there due to health, then that's cool. But I just want to know what you think about that situation.
I don't think it's about outplaying, because Jabril Cox can't quote unquote play in practice anymore. These practices aren't about evaluating guys anymore. It's about getting ready for the next game, right? And in camp, Jabril Cox got hurt, right? Or he started, then they eased him out, and he came back, and I thought he played fairly well in the preseason. I would have to get access to the media to ask why is Jabril Cox not active? Because he was active last year before he got hurt, and that was with a linebacker room that they felt a ton of confidence in to start the season. So I think this is more about they just trust Anthony Barr and LVE right now more than Jabril Cox. So I don't have an answer to why he's not active. I don't know. I think he has a skill set that Coach Dan Quinn loves, but maybe they don't trust him. I would ask him myself, really, like, hey, is there a reason why you're not inactive? Because you didn't do anything to not be inactive, or is it a numbers game, or is it a trust factor? Like, I don't know, man. It's perplexing a bit, but it may be a simple answer. No one has asked a question, though.
Gotcha. All right, man. Well, I'm going to let you go to walk into the doctor's appointment. Have a good rest of your day, man.
All right, man. Thanks. Hope it's good news.
It's just a regular checkup for him. Nothing crazy.
Hey, that's what we got to do, brother. We got to get these checkups as men.
Yeah, gotcha, man.
Thanks, man. We definitely got to make sure we take care of ourselves, man. We got to make sure we take care of ourselves. Gotta get these regular checkups, right? I need to, I'm telling myself this. Take my own advice. Gotta get them. You know what? I'm gonna make that the fan focus call of the day. My man going into the doctor's office to get his regular checkup to make sure he's cool. Well, did you know that diabetes and heart disease and prostate cancer procedures, they all can contribute to ED? Many men aren't aware of this or all of the treatment that a board-certified urologist can offer. So understand your options when you go get checked up and where you can find an ED specialist in your area to help. Visit edcure.org to get the facts and find a urologist that can offer treatment options that work when others do not. Again, that's edcure.org.
You're listening to A to Z Sports.
Do it live!
At some point, hoping to broadcast
In front of the millions.
of Cowboys fans to bring you the real. But for now, strap up and here's your host, Skywalker Steele.
I'm Luke Skywalker. I'm here to rescue you.
We'll do it live.
I got my eyes on y'all. I know how y'all get. Hold tight, bro G. We're about to hit this film room. I'm going to get to you. I'm watching. Marcus Hardison. Oh, no, I didn't expect it to be from you. He said, hold on. Sky's younger brother in the picture. Oh, that's good. That's good. I got to give it to you. I got to give it to y'all, man. Y'all amazing. Hallelujah. One more. Please don't cancel me. Dak is the reason they have ED. Oh, I got to give a Taker Bell for that one, man. I got to give a Taker Bell. All right, problematic. We done. No more problematic. I know, Marcus. I know. It's hilarious, though. All right, look. Y'all ready to jump into this film room? I am. Some things I saw this week. Good things and things we need to improve on. Let me just make sure I got this pulled up right. Tape Tuesdays. Still working on that name. Here we go. Always got to finesse this. All right, man. Here we go. Listen. The title of today's show was about adjustments, right? It's about, and I know that's a taboo word here in Dallas, especially with Kellen Moore. I've been asking for some type of an adjustment to how the teams have been playing the Cowboys. And I thought we saw that on Sunday. But I also think we didn't necessarily take advantage of it. Before I actually get to this part of it, we'll talk about Cooper Rush on those first two drives, right? He was in rhythm. They got him easy throws, and he was confident, and he was able to deliver some tough throws in those first two drives. And I think that kind of carried over with, I think he had another one or two other big-time throws, I think is what it's called. And we'll talk about two of them here in a second. But if you look how they played him, the numbers indicated exactly what I was seeing before I popped on the tape. I'm like, I look over to Jesse, and we're like, yo, since he wants to continue to keep playing man, please. Y'all not built like that. Y'all not built like that. And I didn't know the numbers were this good in man. Cooper Rush was 9 for 10 for 109 yards and a touchdown in man coverage. In zone, however, 10 for 21, 121 yards, and obviously no touchdowns. And he had 3 turnover-worthy plays in this game. 2 of them came in man or zone. 1 of them came, I believe, in man coverage. Fortunately, they did not come up with those turnovers. But what I noticed was what was ailing Dak Prescott and Kellen Moore ailed Cooper Rush and Kellen Moore. And I don't really put a ton of it on Kellen. He actually adjusted a bit. All right, let's get into this. The first play here says PA, which is play action 3 versus 7. Schultz, 85, yes. And I'll tell you exactly what I mean by this. You're going to get a play action work here. And remember last week how we talked about, all right, we're coming out of play action, but we're getting the number disadvantage. Big time. Not 4-7, 5-7, but big time we're getting a numbers disadvantage. You got 3 options into a coverage of 7. And you'll see CeeDee Lamb here pointing to Dalton Schultz to split these safeties. But I don't think y'all let me know. Do y'all think anything was truly there deep? I don't. But I think something could have been there on the comeback. So maybe he could have dropped it somewhere in this area, but it doesn't look like Dalton Schultz was designed to sit down here. It was designed to keep carrying it out. And what I mean, so that's why I say, not really. CeeDee Lamb is pointing, but he doesn't realize the safety is hanging over top there. And what I mean by 85, yes, is once you see that you're not going to go here, you've got, let's move it forward here. You've got Noah Brown on the quick out here to get you some yak ability after the fact, maybe a few more yards. But we didn't go there, and Cooper Rush gets a few yards, so it's not a negative play. It's not a negative play. That was the end of the first half, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. That was the start of Cincinnati, and let me bring y'all back here. That was the start of Cincinnati switching things up. They came out playing all this man coverage, and then they said, what are we doing? Let's revert to what the blueprint is against the Dallas Cowboys, and let's see if that will work. They weren't as consistent with it. I don't think they were particularly as good as the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were last week. They were a lot more loose, in my opinion. So I think what Kellen Moore did to adjust was a very simple thing, something that Tom Brady does, something that other offenses do. They send out more guys. Instead of 3 versus 7 or 2 versus 7, he's sending out 4 and 5 guys almost every time. And I say almost because that was one of the lone plays, seriously, one of the lone plays where Cincinnati decided to play some shell coverage or some variation of cover 3 where Kellen Moore didn't send out 4 to 5 guys. Tom Brady and the Bucs, I think, led the league, or they were top 1-2 in the league in 5-man options in the passing department. So I think they went into halftime and said, okay, they decided to shell up. Let's see what we got here. Now, not all these players are going to be out of zone, but some of them will. So you're going to get that 5 versus 7. Oh, and they'll do flood techniques. You're going to get a flood. And then I have here 88 sit down or back shoulder. So let's let the play run real quick. 88's in the slot. Nothing's there. And then get it out to Tony Pollard. So before we move on, in my opinion, I want to know, where is CeeDee Lamb going to be? They go in the zone. You're going to get 7 out here. There's definitely going to be some spots to attack. I wonder what the design or the call was here. Is this for CeeDee Lamb to sit? Is this for CeeDee Lamb to keep setting? Is this a, hey, we're not really on the same page? But I feel like once you see this linebacker get picked up, just turn around, sit down, and you got an easy completion here. So again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 guys out against 7, and they flooded the area. We didn't see a lot of that against Tampa. So I'm like, okay, Kellen, are you adjusting here? Is this maybe it's just a one-off? I don't necessarily think it was. The more and more I watch, so I just think a missed read there to get more, maybe a quick trigger. Not sure. Now this one actually is a man situation. I got motion man, 17 on the backside, high-low flood, and this is one of the things I have an issue with. On 3rd down, that's why I wanted to show y'all this. 3rd and 7. Something that, Kellen Moore did last week on an opening drive in the first quarter, didn't attack the middle of the field. I let the play run a little bit, and you'll see what I mean. You're going to get CeeDee Lamb coming in motion to see, okay, what do we got here? That's an indicator. He pushes over. All right, there is some variation of man. If there is some variation of man on 3rd and 7, why are we not attacking any of the middle of the field here? None of it. Not even an ounce of it. And this is a high-low flood, but I don't like this spacing. What kind of concept is this? Is there a miscommunication? What happened that you got these two guys really running in the same zoned area? And what the hell is Dennis Houston doing? Not saying he's not running his route correctly, but once I got motion, and another thing they adjusted was there were more bunch formations here. Once I see that, and I see he follows, if this linebacker doesn't come, or this linebacker doesn't Tampa to this thing and hit the middle of the field, there has to be some type of connection here where, hey, I don't know if you want to run a dig, I don't know if you want a quick slant, whatever you want to do, but you got to attack this middle of the field. And we didn't, we didn't. I would have came back this way, but hey, listen, the play was designed to go this way. And in that case, you got to blitz, get it off, turnover worthy play, almost gets picked. I don't like the design there. I would have much rather they sent Dennis Houston across the middle. So, but maybe again, not a terrible concept, but maybe it's something they go, when I say terrible concept, the concept on the flood I didn't like, but they got what they wanted. I think maybe they go back to the film room and say, hey, instead of sending Dennis Houston on this meaningless 9 route or whatever he was running, let's get Dennis Houston on a quick slant, try to pick up that 7 yards. All right, next play, we got 5v7 again. How many times did we see this last week? We didn't see that a lot. And I have quick trigger here because I think you're going to get 88 CD Lamb with the leverage advantage, and then you're going to have Dalton Schultz on this backside open. I just feel like maybe the pressure might have been getting to Cooper. He had a quick trigger here, but he had opportunities on multiple occasions. And this is just good design, I think, man. Just good design. Let's let it play a little bit more for y'all, and then we'll run it back. So when I say quick trigger, I feel like he came off a CD a little bit too soon. Because once you see that this, I think this is a corner at this point, is out leveraged, and he's tripping and falling, and then he was coming down to try to deal with, I think that's 21 or 20, Ezekiel Elliott. Anyway, CD busts open right here. Big play ability. If you don't want to take that chance, you did have Dalton Schultz on the backside. But I think this is the advantage you get when you send out more options. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And I use the word true options, right? I use the word true options, not, hey, he's pat, and now he's breaking off because there's nobody blitzing. They sent out 5 guys in this route, and they did have an advantage. They had a leverage advantage. They had a backside advantage. Quick trigger, though. We went to Ezekiel Elliott. He drops the ball, and now we got a punt. Not that he would have picked up the first down anyway. We'll let it play from the cartel view. Not that he picked it up. He would have probably picked it up anyway. But, I mean, we look at the protection. The protection's there. The pocket is good. Take a look at 88, though. CD will let you know. CD is going to let you know. I don't like it, man. I'm open. You missed me. I'm open. You dropped it. We got to do better. All right, next play. 4 versus 7, another flood. You know, we're getting more numbers out into this shell coverage, whether it be cover 3, a variation of some type of zone coverage. They're getting more numbers than they were last week. And I got 88 sits and just a beautiful drop. I think this isn't the actual play I talked about yesterday on the stream, but it's similar. He did this twice in the game. I mean, this is just, I know he's wide the hell open. I totally get that. But he has to make sure he puts that over top of this linebacker here, gets it there fast enough so that he's not running him into number 20. And he kind of has to throw it behind him so he doesn't get rocked too hard. And he did all of that, man. Just a great throw by Cooper Rush there. Great throw. 5 versus 7, 85. Again, more numbers. 85 has to push. Oh, this one just pissed me off. Let me tell y'all why this pushed me off. Noah Brown been playing good all game, right? Or at least the first half of the game. And he had an opportunity for a big play right here. Just keep your eyes on Noah Brown, and I'll rewind it. And you'll see exactly what I mean. Oh, you gotta you gotta push it, Noah. And what I mean by push it is, if you notice somewhere around that 40, well, about the 43, what is that? Why are you slowing up here? If you're not breaking in, if you're not running a curl, if you're not running a dig, if you're not running a hook, you've got to push this cornerback. Because if you push it, you got one-on-one. And Cooper Rush, I think, was actually looking for it. It wasn't there for whatever reason. You know, Cooper Rush comes back to Tony Pollard and he throws another almost turnover-worthy play. Just a very frustrating situation here, because I think that Noah Brown had potential for a big play. Look here. And by the way, I didn't even talk about this aspect of it. Cooper Rush looks off the safety. Watch how the safety plays this. A lot of cover one. They did some cover one stuff too. Watch how the safety plays this. Cooper Rush looks to right. Boom. This is where he wants to come. But you got to push it, Noah. You got to push it. And he didn't push it. He played around with it, and you almost had a turnover. And now once we get to the cartel view, you will see Cooper Rush look off the safety, got the look he wanted, came back to Noah Brown, and that little bit of hesitation was because he was looking for Noah to go. It didn't happen, and that almost happened. All right? That almost happened. So, again, though, you got numbers out against it. I can't be mad at Kellen Moore. So far, I'm seeing a bit of an adjustment compared to last week. We got 4 versus 7, 87 seam, 85 backside. So earlier in the show, Brandon called in and talked about getting tight ends up the seam. Oh boy, did he have one. Let's take a look. He definitely got a seam route here, and he definitely had 85 on the back here, and almost interception there. In a way, that tip might have saved something, or that tip might have no, I think the cornerback fell. But take a look at Jake Ferguson. Got Jake Ferguson here, and I believe Noah Brown on the backside. That's why I have 85 on the backside. Pocket is good. You got good protection. Once you see he peels off, look, he's beat. This linebacker is beat. Let's let it play. Got a seam route here, and if you don't like the seam route here, I think you could have came backside to 85. But I think this is one of those situations where they were going to CeeDee Lamb all the way. He made his mind up pre-snap. He was going to CeeDee Lamb all the way, and just didn't work out that way. But I'm not mad at the concept here. I'm not mad at the concept. You got to make that decision pre-snap, and the decision he wanted to go to CeeDee Lamb. But the big play was available there. Another 5 versus 7. This is kind of a reoccurring theme, because I think there was an adjustment, y'all, and it kind of makes me excited to move forward. 21 pulls the cornerback. Great throw. Oh, this was the throw. This was the throw where he just fits it in that. This is not. He's open. Don't get me wrong. But this is not some just easy throw, in my opinion. Drops it in there in the bucket. Was that 85? I can't remember if those two dudes look alike to me. CeeDee Lamb. All right. So CeeDee Lamb this time does a good job sitting. Sits down in that zone. 1, 2, 3, 4, and just throws it right in that window. Ezekiel Elliott gets that corner to come up, bite just enough, and just a beautiful drop in the bucket. This throw and the throw that was similar, I think on the similar side of the field, were a part of those throws I mentioned earlier in the stream, where I said 2 of his 3 best throws. This one was maybe my favorite one. He got it over top of him. And then the final play of Tape Tuesday. Let's see here. 88, 85, pick 1. What was the progression? I'll lie to you, I forget on this one what we got here. Oh, okay. All right. So I didn't understand where he was looking here. This was another 3rd down play. I think this was a play that Dalton Schultz actually got hurt on. So I wasn't sure what the progression was, because you had both 88 here, and I want to say 85 here, open. And this is what I meant by the Tampa Bay Buccaneers played their zone coverage much tighter than the Bengals. Now, I haven't popped in the film on the Giants just yet to see how they play their zone, their shell coverage, but there were so many opportunities in this game against the Bengals shell coverage, zone coverage, whatever you want to call it, And it was like multiple opportunities in the same play, and this was one of them. I mean, this is open in the NFL. I mean, wide open in the NFL. And I feel like when I say what was the progression, because this is kind of your let out, right? Or your let out, or your check down, whatever you want to call it, on 3rd and long. I'm not sure why he's the exact read. This is open. This is a first down. And if we're keeping it a buck, once you see him turn his hips, he's done. If you're even, I'm leaving. Eli Apple got cooked here. You could just throw that thing up to Noah Brown, and I think you'll get a shot down here too. Instead, for whatever reason, the read was to come to Dalton Schultz well below the sticks. Actually, was 2nd down, but well below. Here's the first down marker. I don't know why this was the read. So, there were opportunities here in this zone to loosen up. We just, for whatever reason, didn't quite go to it. So that's the final play of Tape Tuesday, Cowboys Nation. But I came away from that not discouraged. Not discouraged, believe it or not. I came away from that encouraged in the fact that, not only did we see an adjustment to be more deliberate running the ball. Now, can they clean up some of their play calling in regards to that? Sure. Pitches to Ezekiel Elliott. What are we doing that for, right? But they adjusted in the passing game. They adjusted in their concepts. They adjusted by sending more guys out in the route against that shell coverage, something that they didn't do in week 1. I think that's something that once Kellen Moore and Cooper Rush go back in the film room, they'll be like, damn, could have had that. But let's check that. Let's circle that. Let's come back to that. Let's work on that this week, because that might be there against the Giants. That's also something when Dak comes back. Oh, shoot, man, I got an opportunity here. Right. And I just think that, and this is what I meant by I felt like this game could have been a blowout. Somebody asking a question, hey, if Dak is playing in this game, is this a game you think would have been the same or would have been? I said I think this actually is won by more, because this is the type of game that we've seen Dak blow teams out in, where you're having success on the ground, you get a lead, right, and now you got confidence in what you're doing from a quarterback standpoint. We've seen that happen a ton. There's not too many times last year you saw the Cowboys get a 17-3 lead and lose it. You know what I mean? So I just feel like they would have took advantage of this more often. And that should be expected. He's your backup quarterback. I'm not expecting Cooper Rush to be as good as he may have been on those first 2 possessions the entire game. As long as he was good on those first 2 possessions, the last possession. And that's what he was, He came through when, guess what the Bengals did? For whatever reason, they went back to a man, and we picked them apart. So I came away encouraged, Cowboys Nation. Hopefully you guys did. My apologies if that was, again, I always apologize for going too long, but I get excited about the film. So I hope y'all appreciated that and maybe came away feeling a little bit better about the potential moving forward offensively. Now, it's only 1 week. I ain't dive into the Giants film yet. Maybe things change. Maybe the Giants don't run a ton of zone, or maybe they're better in zone. But if we can build on top of this, I think that the Cowboys can do a little bit more moving forward. They can do a little bit more. Shout out to y'all for rocking with me, man. Couple super chats here I want to make sure I get to.
Super chat.
Hamzone71, appreciate the $2 donation. It says, good work, brother. Keep it up. Thank you. Shaq Edwards. Shaq, we were counting on you, Shaq. Let's get a Taker Bell one time for the Minnesota Vikings. Appreciate the donation, though, Shaq. In the words of my guy, Ty Dolla $ign, chasing Henny with the Bombay type of day. Kirk, not that guy. I feel you, bro. I feel you. All right, let's get back to the phone lines, man. Appreciate you, Bro G, for holding tight here, man. What's up, Bro G?
My man, what is up, guys? Just calling. I don't call in that much, but just want to say what's up, man. Appreciate you, man. What's up to Cowboys Nation, America's greatest fans. Man, I just want to comment on some of your shows, man. You had me busting up a couple times during the preseason, man. I don't know what show it was, but I could see you was trying super, super, super hard to keep your composure, man. I guess people were talking in the chat, and you was really trying hard not to bust up, and then you went off the air and put like a little commercial thing. I thought, oh, I bet you he put the page off so he could just bust out and just get it out.
Oh, man.
So
Y'all be having me crack
I was
up, bro.
busting. Even though I couldn't see what was going on the chat, I knew like, oh man, dude, you had me cracking up, even though I didn't know what was going on. I just want that. That's always a memory that I got. You all know. It's just I don't know why it just came out. But my observations of this last game, man. You was talking. It was so funny that you just started talking about the receivers as previous games and maybe last year. It seemed like our receivers were like never in sync. They were never in sync of what zone it was. Like they was like, is it man? Is it zone? And I only played up to the junior college level, and we knew automatically. We had this one play. It was either you could go man or zone. You had to switch up. It was always everything was predicated on that. When you go trips, that middle receiver, he always, no matter if he knew the ball was coming to him or not, he had to attack the safeties regardless if it was zone or man, because you had to clear those safeties out to get them to back up. And if they didn't pay attention to that, and you had one receiver that came across the zone, and if it was man, he just kept going across. But if it was zone, he would stay in the middle of the field and find a hole, whatever. And if you hit that middle guy come across the middle, so many times and it's successful, those safeties start to bunch up. They start to cheat up because they're looking for that receiver come across the middle, and then that's when you hit do deep when you get those safeties cheating up. But I mean, yeah, I like that. I couldn't see your film session, but I could hear it, and that's what made me remind me of when I was in junior college. And my second point is McCarthy, man. I could see he was a little bit more. I think he had a little bit more. You could see him. He was walking the sideline. He's like, if he was calling the plays, you could see he was he had more control on them. Maybe he was saying like, no, we're not going to run this. Like you could see him, his demeanor on the sideline. He was walking up and down instead of just standing there holding. He would hold the play sheet and sometimes like rolled up. But this time he had it. He was looking at it. Like he was calling plays. But yeah, that's all I got to comment on, man. I'm gonna get off the phone and listen to the rest of the show, my man. It's good to talk to you, Sky.
Always good to talk to you, bro. G, appreciate your support, man. So Mike McCarthy, was he calling plays? I don't know if he was calling plays per se, but I definitely 100% think that he had more say in this game plan. I will say that. Now, trying to fix this chat here. Give me a second. Now, the reason why I believe that is because he came out in the presser on Friday and said, yeah, I'm sitting down with Kellen a lot longer today to look at the play sheet and just go look at how the game started in drive 1 and drive 2. Completely different than week 1. And what I mean by completely different is, for whatever reason, Kellen Moore, saw something working and he decided to do some razzle dazzle, double, triple dog dare reverse and the wildcat formation. Things were not, that wasn't the case on Sunday. They settled in, and instead of, now they did try that not a tight end screen. They did try that smoke screen with the tight ends block, and that didn't work. But I think that was the second drive. But on the first drive, instead of the screen that required your tight ends to block in space, smoke screen, just a quick smoke screen, and it worked twice. Now, when I say worked, I mean it didn't lose yards, and the other one actually got a first down. Another play in that first drive. Play action, screen to the tight end. Easy, get your guy in rhythm. There was just a different feel to the start of that game from Kellen Moore that I think McCarthy had a lot to do with. Now, I understand there's a cat in here named CB4L. I don't know if you're new here, but I can tell how you feel about the QB1, and that's fine. Again, I'm so numb to this because this is Cowboys Nation. I've been through this since 2007 with the QB1. But this is how I know there are certain agendas, or you just are new and you haven't been here. Y'all want to tell him what we did last Tuesday on Tape Tuesday? Y'all want to tell him what we did? Because he said, I see him kind of spamming the chat about, why wasn't Dak's film broken down like this? Where's the film of Dak's week 1? You just missed it, bro. You just missed it. I don't know how new you are. I don't know if you got me messed up here. I don't give a damn who it is. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. We broke down the film from last week, and it wasn't fun. We talked about how Dak missed throws or Dak missed reads or et cetera, or the concepts weren't great, the play call design, the wide receiver, whatever. We broke all that down in detail. That's what we do on Tape Tuesday. We go look at the film and we try to figure this thing out. So CB4L. That's what we do here. So you must be new. TC said he's not a regular. All right, he's not a regular. That makes sense now. That makes sense. All right, let's get to Coach Marv on the horn. I haven't heard from Coach Marv, I don't think, since the season. What's good, Coach?
What's going on, Sky? Can you hold on 1 second?
Sure. You want me to come back to you?
No, I'm good. Hold on 1 second.
Okay. Damn, Coach.
Yeah.
All right.
Sky. Yeah, man. I hadn't talked to you in a while, man, and you're always doing good work, man. I like the video, man. I love it. I watched the game a couple of times, and yes, I think we did make some adjustments with our passing game. Now, Sky, this is now we get into our offensive coaches disciplined enough to not see some good things that they may have seen on film, and to leave the game plan somewhat of the physical approach of the game, and start putting too much on Cooper Rush. I think they can utilize those plays they see it was open, but I don't want them to say, well, we got that, and then we leave the game plan that we started out to get us in the rhythm.
Yeah,
you understand where I'm coming from?
100%. I don't. What you're basically saying, if I'm mistaken, tell me if I'm wrong. Yes, we got the win. Yes, he was good on the first few possessions, and he made a few throws in between. But you're not trying to put the game and lean it on Cooper Rush's shoulder. And I think we've seen that in back-to-back games now, where you don't really want to do that. And that's not a knock to him. He's a backup quarterback. I mean, let's just be honest.
Right, and I think we just need the discipline of the coaches now to say, okay, because they're watching these same film and they see all these, say, oh man, we could have had this, we could have had that. Let's do this, more of this, and then we get away again, and then have to get slapped back to reality, and then have to say, oh, let's reverse and get back to it. I hate to talk about this team. Don't like this team in Milwaukee, but I saw a team that had young receivers that didn't pan out in the first game, and a quarterback that made the game much easier for itself, because they said, well, you know what we're going to do? We're going to get the ball 33 times to our running back, and we're going to let Aaron Rodgers complete 85% of his passes off play action, and we're going to look brilliant, and we're going to cruise to a victory. Because we got defense that's good enough to slow and I just thought that game plan that they came out against Chicago was indicative of a great game plan to say, hey, and we only gonna throw the ball to Cobb and to our veteran wide receivers until these guys get their feet on them, but we're gonna lean on these two great running backs we got, and we're gonna just cruise to a 27 points in the first half, just like that. And I think he only completed 19 passes for 255 yards, and 85% of it was all play action. I would like to see Cooper Rush throw more play action, because I think if we could get consistent with the run game, I think play action would give him a little bit more time. Well, not time, but a little more flow.
Let's not even just say Cooper Rush. Like Dak Prescott too. Like
Dak, yes.
Yeah,
thank you, Scott. Thank you,
you know what I'm saying? Like, they need to carry this thing over to, I don't give a damn if Kellen Moore decides to put a helmet on, coach. Like, use more play action. And to your point, this year, because they include his game against the Bucs, we still only have 7 dropbacks from play action with Cooper Rush. That's including the Bucs game. It's not enough for me.
It seems like we allergic to trying. I mean, if you look back at our stats last year, we were very successful with play action, but there were certain things that we were very successful with, but we refused to continue to keep doing it. It's like we're trying to outguess the defense before the defense even changed. So
that's a crazy way to put it.
That's crazy, but
that feels like
that
feels true, bro. That's crazy. I'm gonna have to write that one down.
Yeah. So, but I think if now it's time for the coaches. Again, like I say, can they hold to their discipline and take this game plan that they had? And yes, it didn't, but we have the signs that this game plan could get even better, and this, like you said, the run attack can get better, and the bigger plays that come better. They could take this game plan now and just work it another week with a different, just a little bit different with the Giants, and then we can say, hey, we can protect Cooper Rush, because what I want to say, and the last thing I want to say, Scott, I don't want Cooper Rush has started 2 games, but he hadn't had traumatic failure yet.
Oh,
I don't know how he'll handle if he
deep.
gets and he makes a big mistake. See what I'm saying?
In the game,
so let's keep him away from that.
In the game, or like has a bad game in general.
Right.
Well, I mean, I think those are two different things. Like in the game, we actually did see him make a big mistake last season, but he hasn't had a horrific game in general or a bad game in general. He had a bad first half against Minnesota, and then a better second half against Minnesota. Made big plays and then had the game-winning drive at the end. So I wouldn't consider that a bad game. And then obviously almost similar, granted they didn't come away with the interceptions against Cincinnati. He had a good start against Cincinnati and then got erratic, but then he finished. So I didn't think of it that way. It's like what happens if it but honestly, if it's a bad game, I don't really know if it matters because he's the backup quarterback. And for what I've heard about Cooper Rush, he's very centered and leveled about, not only his play, but his mentality. But what happens if he has a bad play or an interception or a turnover or something like that?
Right.
How does he bounce back from it? I still think based off what we saw over the last 2 games of him starting, I think he'd be fine. But fine, when I say fine, I don't mean like dude is going to be Aaron Rodgers the next series. But all right, I messed up. Come back out here and keep it moving. These guys are professionals.
Right. So but like I said, Scott, it's going to come down to the discipline of the offensive coaches that know that we don't want to fall for fool's gold, but we want to make sure we open it up a little bit.
Yeah.
But we're not going to rely on this all on Cooper Rush and we saying, oh, it's open, let's do this, because there's a reason why he's a backup quarterback. Because some things may be open, but he doesn't have the capabilities of seeing it and doing it and reacting to it. Not saying he's bad, but there's a reason. Let's keep the game playing where he could be productive.
100%. Hey, Marv, I appreciate you calling in as always, big dog.
All right, guy, have a good one.
You too, man. Yeah, if you guys recall, the theme last week, as we broke it down, I don't mean to sound like a broken record. When I watched the Minnesota game, Shaq, when I watched the Minnesota game, I'm like, I mean, shoot, if they going to man up like this or if they're going to play like this, there's opportunities for, when I say they, I mean if Cincy is going to play in a way that Minnesota played, there's opportunities that Cooper can get the ball to these guys. There's certain throws I am worried about, but if it's going to be a ton of space, yeah, it works. Or when I say space, not just separation, but space to throw the ball in an area. I did think he got better in throwing the ball to an area in the zone with 2 of those really good throws that we talked about where he kind of dropped it. But in general, it was clear as day what Cincinnati decided to do after they started off trying to be a man team. And here's the thing about you are who you are, and they went right back to it at the end of the game. But this is clear. If you're going to man up, I think Rush can definitely find the right read and get you the ball, which, again, that's what this offense takes advantage of in general, especially when you are a good running team. I mean, last year, we made teams come out of their man. We made teams change who they are. We made them change who they are because it was like, listen, dog, well, we ain't finna let these 101s just eat us up. And the concepts, I mean, just don't listen to me. Listen to the Super Bowl winning quarterback, Hall of Famer Kurt Warner. The concepts mostly were man beaters. Teams picked up. Y'all not running zone. Y'all not running cover 2 beaters. Oh, we just gonna keep doing this. And That's what happened last year. And I think the Bengals decided, all right, let's go to this blueprint. Let's drop back a little bit more and see if they have the patience to sift through, as opposed to knowing where you're going to go with this rock right after the snap. So, and it affected the Cowboys. It affected Kellen. I think Kellen adjusted, but it affected the offense. Now let's look at this tape. Let's move forward. And I don't know if the Giants do this, but if they do, let's take advantage of it next week. Man, yo, whoever that fella is.
I ain't gonna lie, I'm getting cooked.
Oh my gosh. What is going? See, this is what I try to avoid here. You know what I mean? I try to be objective as possible. I don't care who it is. I know how I feel. Just get 6 at some point. All right. How many we got here? Let's lock it up. We got 4 on the horn. Let's get to Los. What's up, Los?
Good morning, Sky, man. It's always a good morning and always a good week after Cowboys win. You know what I'm saying?
Indeed, bro.
Yeah, but hey, real quick, 2 quick points. You got to give a huge shout out to the offensive line for setting the tone pass, for setting up the pass and run. I mean, I don't know how many sacks they gave up, but they kept Cooper upright and gave him time to scan the field. And like I said, Kellen Moore was a clean play caller and way more smarter in his play design this game. And you're doing a great job, like always, young film Jedi Sky.
I ain't no film Jedi. I appreciate it.
Yeah, hey, you know I consider you one, man. And my to close off, man. I like what I saw from CD, but I'm still waiting for a big play for him to be like that's the reason he's considered top number 1. Because if you look across the league, I mean that Jets kid Wilson, he went off. Chase has been proven to have that chemistry with Burrow, and all these wide receivers, Adams and Carr, and I just feel like CD is still looking for that chemistry between either with Cooper or Dak, and I just feel once he gets that clicking, he can set the world on fire. And that's it, Sky. Peace.
Appreciate you, Los. There were opportunities when we showed a few of them in the breakdown for a big play to happen, and there were opportunities in week 1 there are 2 of them at least that I remember specifically. CD down the seam and Dak just gets murdered as he's getting the ball out, and then CD on a 9 route on the left side, and Cooper Rush just sails it out of bounds. So there's opportunities, but I don't know. I have to go back and look again if I remember correctly. I don't think we're really putting him in a ton of situations to get those type of big plays. Could be wrong. I could be wrong, but he seems to be utilized more as a possession guy. I think they're trying to get him off from a yak department. That's why you see those smoke screens. He had 2 smoke screens in the first series. They're trying to get him the ball and let him do some yak things. I still would like to see him do more downfield things, give him a shot. For whatever reason, man, there's just not a ton of those. They were hitting on him early in last season, then he just completely disappeared from the deep shots the second half of the season. And, I am an advocate on him operating on the boundary to do some of those big play type of situations. But, I look across the league. Y'all talk about looking across the league. I just looked yesterday. I hate to even bring up the Eagles, but certain concepts you run to put pressure and stress on certain players or schemes that don't require you to have blazing speed. And you saw that last night with just a lot of shots, a lot of open receivers. That's going to be more difficult, I think, with how the Cowboys run their scheme. Teams have already picked up on that. Even with the window shots and things like that here that we just showed, same thing in week 1. Even with the shots, not too many of these things are coming easy, especially week 1. With that game plan they rolled out. I mean, you can't possibly continue to operate 2 versus 7, 3 versus 8, 3 versus 7 and expect something to be there. Now you're forcing things. Now you're making bad decisions. And then when you do have something, you come off of something, now you're throwing interceptions. But they made the adjustment, so hopefully they continue to move forward with that. 651, what up?
What's up, man?
What's good with you?
So it's been a minute since I called in. I called in last time and was pretty hyped about my Cowboys.
Wait.
You know, I've heard
Is this the brother that gave us the hype speech?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
My guy. Hold on, man. You a cool guy. What's up? What you got?
I'm gonna be real. You know, week 1 was a disappointment. Yeah, there was a lot going on there that I feel like should have been cleaned up. I feel like it's definitely gonna get better as the season goes. You know, we're missing a lot of folks that we had last year. A lot of folks don't realize that, how many people we actually did lose. But there ain't really a point to hit the panic button. It can definitely be done. I mean, you saw what we did with a backup against a Super Bowl team.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is what it is. No matter what anybody says, the Bengals was still in the Super Bowl last year. And we didn't beat the brakes off of them, but we definitely put them in their place. And, I heard somebody say something about, Bravo, Kellen Moore. It's like I halfway agree. First quarter, absolutely. And second, third, and fourth, not really. I mean, it was garbage. And I'm not trying to be negative, but, watch the tape from the first quarter and build off that. The little, sideline passes that they were trying to do, it don't work. It does, but the Bengals were all over it. And, Noah Brown showed out, first off. Noah Brown showed out. Mad props to him.
Sure.
If this team goes far, I still think we're going to beat, the Eagles, the Giants, and the Commanders, or Washington or whatever in the division, and only because of our defense. Everybody talks about the Eagles, and they're like, oh, A.J. Brown. Yeah, cool. I mean, I get it. He's a boss receiver. But I would take Jamar Chase over A.J. Brown.
Uh-oh. Starting to sound like a robot. You there?
Sir, are you there?
Can you hear me, brother?
Now I got you back.
Oh, okay. Yeah, my bad. I must be going through a dead zone. But anyway, I was just saying, basically, everybody trips about A.J. Brown thinking that he's, the best thing since sliced bread. But I think we're going to cut that down when we play. I really do. And that's
You're breaking up too much, man. You're breaking up too much. You gotta land it, man. Final thought.
Ain't nobody gonna beat us. Y'all just be patient. This team will get better as the year goes on.
I agree with the latter. But we ain't going to 16-1, but I agree with the latter. Appreciate you, dog. Yeah, we'll definitely get better. Players are coming back. We might get Gallup back this week. Peter's back. Obviously, Dak will be back. Like I said earlier, it's going to take some weeks to figure out who you are, because that just seems to be the identity of this defense. They don't know who they are. Or offense, I'm sorry. They don't know who they are. But the defense is always going to give you a shot. It's always going to give you a shot. So, yeah. Man, I see y'all. Man, y'all still going, man. One thing I noticed, and that's why I got rid of certain people throughout my tenure doing this, it only takes one person to completely derail the chat in a crazy way. I appreciate the engagement, but it only takes one. Let's get to Glenn. Which Glenn is this? Because there's a couple Glens. I like all the Glens, though. What's up, Glenn?
This is Glenn from Florida.
Glenn from Florida. What's good, Glenn from Florida? You're not the Florida man, are you?
No, I'm not the Florida man. I'm better than that.
All right, cool.
Hey, how you doing today still?
Man, I'm doing good. When you get a victory and then you can go back and watch good film, it's fun.
Yeah, I think it definitely brought a good start to my week. I feel good. After last week and seeing that go down, when you wait 3 or 4 months for some real football and then your quarterback go down week 1, you think, why football guys do this to you? But week 2 brought me back. I think I was running low on my Kellen Moore patience after week 1 because it looked like the same thing that we were seeing for the last 7 weeks of last season. But I think with the help of Mike McCarthy, he was able to reel him in a bit and keep us in the game, I would say. I'm even more excited to see what we do against the Giants. And I think we might be okay. Now, Eagles look like they might be something, but if we can stay in second place or keep neck and neck with the Eagles while Dak is out, I think we might have a chance too.
Yeah, man. Listen, bro. I've always been about this thing being week to week. The older I've gotten as a Cowboys fan, because if I live too far out or live too far in the past, I'm just gonna hurt myself. So last week was it was hurt. It sucked. It was tough. But obviously a season's not defined after week 1. So there's more games to be played. Now, did I expect them to get back on the winning side this week? I didn't. I didn't expect that. But even if they did lose, I still felt like at the very least they could have got the 2-2. Well, guess what? They got a shot to get to 3-1 by the time Dak Prescott gets back here. So, as long as we stay in that mind frame. In fact, let me tell you something. Mike McCarthy, if you go listen to his press conference, at the very end of his press conference, they asked him some strange questions. They said, hey, Mike, did you get a chance to, sit back and celebrate the win and, feel good because, a lot of people counted you out and, you won in there. You had a good game. You won with the backup. Mike was like, geez, I guess I got to get more dramatic. He's like, I got to get more dramatic. He's like, okay, let me lie to you real quick. Yeah, I went back home and me and my wife, we celebrated and did all that stuff. But he was basically saying, no, we won. We did what we were supposed to do or wanted to do. It's one game. We celebrate for 24 hours.
Super Bowl.
It's not the Super Bowl. It's week 2. You're talking about a Super Bowl winning coach. You asked the Super Bowl winning coach, hey, man, did you celebrate? Did you go home and pop bottles? Like, no, I'm not celebrating week 2. What are we doing? So Mike was like, hey, okay, for dramatic purposes, yeah, me and the wife went back. I got on the grill, and we had a grand old time. So I'm kind of living that mindset like, hey, man, 24 hours. We'll celebrate this thing. We talk about it, have a good time. Or if it's a loss, we got to talk about what happened, and then let's kind of move forward and try to figure out how to win the next week.
And I think going forward, what will do us even better, and I just been looking at it ever since McGovern went down. I believe if we do get Jason Peters back in there, get him in there at left tackle and let Tyler Smith slide to left guard, that's going to do wonders for the inside of that pocket, be able to step in that pocket. And then maybe you can hit CeeDee Lamb in that middle to where you can connect on deeper passes. We went deep to CD, and we just didn't connect.
Yeah, he hasn't.
Good ball too.
Yeah, he hasn't hit yet on the deep ball with CD, but I think that hits with Dak though. Dak has been one of the better deep ball throwers for the last 3 years. So I don't worry about them not connecting right now. I want them to connect, right? I want CD and Cooper to connect deep, but keep taking them. Keep taking the shots. At some point, a flag. At some point, you will connect, or at some point, that will back up the defense, right?
Mm-hmm. So I'm gonna ask you this, Steele, and then I'm gonna let you go. With the rest of what you say, Dak probably out for another 4 weeks or so?
No.
4 or 5 weeks?
No, doesn't sound like it. They're.
I don't see. I have a hard time believing them. I have a hard time at this point believing what Dak say, what the front office say. They said the ankle was nothing.
Don't believe them. Don't believe what they say. Believe what they do. Believe in their actions. Their actions stated by not putting him on IR, he's not missing 7 weeks. That's what you're asking. 4 or 5 weeks. That's 6 or 7 weeks. The actions state that he may miss 3 games and that's it. And the way we're looking, maybe only 2 games. But no, I don't think Dak will be out for 4 or 5 more games. I think if he's not back in week 4, he'll be back week 5.
So realistically, you think we can go 3-0 these next, or 2-1 these next?
2-1. So I think this defense is so.
We got the Giants. I believe we have the Commanders after the Giants.
This defense is so good. The only reason why I didn't think they'd beat Cincy is because I didn't think they'd do enough offensively. in the grand scheme of things, averaging 20 points per game will not get you a ton of wins in this league. Even the defense last year gave up 21 points per game, and the average median I think across the league is 22 or 23 points per game. But if you can average 20 points per game, I need my defense to then obviously hold guys underneath that. So I do think, going up against Daniel Jones and Carson Wentz, I think you could hold them to well below 20 points per game as long as my defense or offense can get me I just need them to give me 2 touchdown possessions. That's what happened last week in the first 2. They only got 3 points after that, but that's all it needed, right? So do I think that can happen? Based off of what I saw last week, based off of some of the adjustments I saw from Kellen Moore, if they go back into the film room and into the game plan room and tweak some things moving forward, man, yeah. I mean, just roll out that same game plan, and I think you'll have a shot to get out of this thing with the next 2 weeks with a victory. You might only need 1 week. Dak might come back against Washington.
All right, still, right now I'm optimistic. I think if we like I said, we just lean on this defense, and if Cooper Rush he doesn't have to be a game changer, but just do enough to win the game.
Yeah, just manage the game.
He's got money on here. So.
Just manage the game and continue to have ice in your veins at the end. And then if you got to rely on Brett, I'm still behind Brett. Feel good about him.
All right, still, thank you for having me on, and I hope you have a good rest of your day, man.
Thanks, bro. Appreciate the call.
All right, later.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I don't know, man. I don't see Dak Prescott being out for a while. We'll see what happens. They're not ruling him out against Washington, which again, that would be 3 weeks. But not being on IR was the indicator to me. Oh, same thing with Michael Gallup. Not being IR was the indicator to me. Oh, so he coming back week 3 or week 4. Shout out to the 400 and something of y'all still rocking with me here as we are in overtime, clearly. We're going to end this OT with the OG, Magic City Mar. What's good?
What's up, Law?
Who? Damn, you must have been asleep on the phone.
No, what's up, bro? How you doing?
I'm doing good, but I ain't Law.
I know that.
What's good, Mar?
Had to mess with you. Hey, did you see that Ridgeway got picked up by the Redskins, huh?
Yeah, man. Big country don't want the DC.
I didn't like that. I did not like that, brother. I'm going to tell y'all why. Because now you put him with them 2 hogs with them. Oh, my God. Damn. I hate that, bro.
Don't hate it. I mean, it sucks as a 5th round pick, but I think you're stacked on the defensive line, man. And no offense to Ridgeway, unless Ridgeway turns into, was it Kyle Williams or what's the cat from the 49ers back in the 2000s? He used to be a beast, big country dude.
Yeah,
just a fantastic defensive tackle. I forget his damn name, but unless he turns out to be one of those guys, don't feel bad because you can find those type of dudes in the 3rd day. Shoot, Kyle Williams and them probably weren't 1st or 2nd round picks.
I know.
Justin Smith, I think that's his name.
Oh yeah, but that's gonna help their defense in the middle.
I mean, they got two. They got 2 dudes that ain't gonna come off the field that much.
I know, but that's why they got them to get them rest.
So wait a minute. You think Ridgeway? And I could be wrong, but you think Ridgeway about to go to Washington and be some game changer?
Yep. In the middle, I'm telling you. We supposed to use him, brother. We shouldn't let that man go. I'm gonna be honest, cause my middle ain't there yet, cause 97, 96. I give them a C. They not being like beast mode. If they be beast mode, them DNs will be even better.
So is Ridgeway better than 97? Is Ridgeway better than 96? Is Ridgeway better than 98?
No,
Is Ridgeway better than 72? My point is he better than any of the defensive tackles you got on this team right now?
He ain't that far behind, brother. Just put it that way.
What have you seen that you can say that he's worthy of bumping one of those dudes off the team or out of the depth chart? I'm curious. Because you. I mean, let me just calm down.
You know what I seen in practice when he was in the practice? When they had him and 98 in the game together, it was killing.
In the game of practice, it wasn't practice. We have film. We have real life tape of him playing against opponents in games. I'm asking you, what have you seen from Ridgeway in games in preseason that says, oh, he needs to play over Bohanna, or he needs to play over Osa, or he needs to play over Neville, or he needs to play over Tristan?
I know that. No, but I'm just saying, Tristan been here 4 years. Ridgeway only been here. You know what I'm saying? So we gave them guys 4 years to. You gave them guys 4 years to be where they at. I ain't gonna lie. I think the guy's gonna be good. I think the guy. You may be right, but you're talking about in the future. I think they're looking at it as right now. Well, you know, teams always do that. They poke off the Cowboys first, always. Okay. Every time. But you know, I just hope they keep running the ball. I hope he don't change it. But I saw your film section. Yeah. 85 got to keep running because there was some bums. You know what I'm saying? I want to fake that screen. When you put number 2 in the game, fake that screen and send them 2 receivers going toward the middle and let number 2 shoot right down that sideline. Oh, yeah, you know, we got to get Turpin more involved, man. Yes. You got to, man. Number 9. You got to get him. Because you see what Philly did. That's how they psyched Minnesota with that fast receiver. Yeah, Watkins. Bombed him over the top. Yeah. Yeah. We got to do the same thing, man. Come on. Stop throwing them stupid-ass screens. Excuse my French. Or fake it. Like, you know, I'm hoping maybe they're setting this thing up, Marv. I watched week 1. They hit Michael Gallup. Boom. Smoke screen. Michael Gallup. Boom. Smoke screen. And then a few possessions later, fake the smoke. 2 9 routes, touchdown. Yes. You got to do that. Because we could beat the Giants, and then we play the Redskins the following week. You know, they're going to be each of the beat us, boy, the Redskins. Everybody get up to play the boys, man. But this ain't the boys of last year. When I say the boys, I mean this defense. You can get up as much as you want to get up. I don't know how I can come out of weeks 1 and 2, seeing how this defense played against Tom Brady, Joe Burrow, Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Julio Jones, Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, Tyler Boyd. Like, were they perfect? No, but 19 points, 17 points. I know. These quarterbacks were getting harassed. They weren't out here eating on you. You do mean to tell me Daniel Jones and Carson Wentz? No disrespect to the Giants football team in general. I'm just talking about the quarterbacks. When we looked at the schedule, we said he gonna try to throw screens. He gonna try to run on screens with 26. When we looked at the schedule, we said the first part of the schedule is going to be the toughest part because you're playing those Rams and the Bengals and the Tampas of the world, and this defense has come out and responded. So I absolutely feel extremely confident going up against a Daniel Jones and a Carson Wentz. Hey, go ahead, Mark. Final land the plane. If they, I'm happy. If our corners keep playing like they do, the score going to keep going down. 19, 17, next week, 9 or 10. That's beautiful. You see what I'm saying? That is beautiful. That's how you win championships. Defense win championships. Indeed, Coach. I almost called you Coach Marv. Magic City Marv. Appreciate you calling in as always, man. It's early over there. Enjoy the rest of your day, fam. All right, fam. It ain't a show. I'm just playing. Ain't no angry Scott. Nah, appreciate you, Marv. He ain't get me angry, y'all. Stop that. I'm just, but y'all know how Marv is. Marv like the 76th player on the team. He think the 76th player is a game changer. So we can't get on Marv for that. I can't get on Marv for that. I kind of lost my thought there. We're talking to Marv, He likes those guys.
But I don't think losing John Ridgeway moves the needle, right? Yeah, Danny. Yeah, I don't know how you mistaken me for Law. All right, we wrapping this thing up. We don't want in overtime. 2 hours, about 2 hours. So, you know what's phony about me, man? I said, hey, we're going to get to the regular season. We ain't going to be doing these long shows. I can't help myself. I love this game. I love this team. I love kicking it with y'all. Love breaking things down. And that's what we're going to do tomorrow. Oh, good news, by the way. A lot of good news coming out. Tomorrow, episode 2 of Cowboys 4th and Long with me and Jesse Hiley. We're going to give y'all about 20, 30 minutes of what's happening around Cowboys Nation. But the other good news, we will be bringing back Okoye Wednesdays. Or Thursdays, depending on the day. But no, we're going to be getting the Okoye Wednesdays back. Me and Okoye were talking yesterday. Obviously, lots going on, but we're both now settled. And we were rapping yesterday in we call it the Illuminati Roundtable chat. And I think we're back here next week. Can't do it tomorrow. He got something going on. But next week, we are back. And for those who don't even know what I'm talking about or who I'm talking about, get yourself familiar with Okoye, man. He's raw. He's intelligent. I called him Dr. Okoye in the chat, man. Keeps it a bean. There's a handful of guys when it comes to film. I kind of get just mesmerized when I'm watching and listening. Okoye is one of them. Does a tremendous job breaking down film. Check him out. Okoye Media. I think it's still Okoye Media on YouTube. What we do is we both look at film from the opposing team and the Cowboys, and on Wednesdays, I do offense versus defense or defense versus offense. We break that down with film, with our opinions. It's a 2-man show for the entire show for the most part. And it's always fun, man. It's always fun. I absolutely love doing the Okoye shows during the season. Also, my guy Foots, he wants to start some college stuff. I said, hold tight, Foots. Hold tight. If we get out of this thing early, we can do college stuff. Or maybe we get to December, January, we'll start. But y'all know Foots is college guy, so put that down. Pin that. We might be doing some college things later on in the season. But Okoye Wednesdays will be back, and I'm hype. I'm hype. Actually, he's making a little video to put together so we can push that thing. So next week, we got Okoye Wednesdays. Tomorrow on Wednesday, we'll be recording Cowboys 4th and Long, and we'll be breaking down what y'all want to do. What y'all want to do. I think what I want to do is Cowboys defense versus their offense. Since we talked Cowboys offense today, if y'all notice, there's a bit of a flow here. Tomorrow we'll talk about Cowboys defense, things I saw in the Bengals game and things that I see from the Giants offense. Y'all cool with that? Cowboys, Dr. Giant, y'all crazy. Cowboys defense versus the Giants offense. I'm excited to do that. If y'all cool with that, we'll rock that, man. Oh, I'm in it. Come on, Danny. Come on. Hey, Marv. Special K said next time he gonna send you a bottle of that Robitussin, or as our folks call it, that Tussin. Go get the Tussin. Will wants to look at the Giants defense. I do too, but I kind of want to keep a flow. I don't want to be too lopsided with Cowboys offense. You know what I mean? I don't want to do that. Yeah, that Tussin. Go get the Tussin. Lamitra said either one is cool with me. Sky, where's Duran? That's a good question. I don't know. That was the back up, Terry. That's the dude that said I was backtracking like Terry. Back up, Terry. Put it in reverse, Terry. I wasn't out here putting nothing in reverse. I don't know where the bull's at. The bull. I probably shouldn't say that professionally, but that's the East Coast coming out of me. Yeah, Koye is great with the breakdowns on the film. I'm just going through the chat before we get out of here right quick. Matt Fournier got a tackle last week. Does he have a future on the D-line? I told Vach, because Vach is watching offense today, or maybe last night he did it. So I said, yo, let me know what you thought about Fournier after the second quarter, because that first half was rough to me. I thought it got better in regards to double teams, but he's upgradable. That's why I want to put Tyler Smith in there. Yeah, the backtracking guy. I don't know where he at, man. Put it in reverse. Yo, we got to make it a tradition. Every July 4th, I ain't working on July 4th, by the way. But around July 4th, whatever the show is, I am playing that backup Terry, put it in reverse Terry. It's dropping. We're going to have traditions on here, man. All right, with that said, y'all do me a favor. Easiest way to support this thing, hit that like button if you enjoyed today's show. Subscribe. Maybe I'll take out the film session today and we'll repurpose that for today or tomorrow. Not quite sure, but we'll figure it out. I think we had a good time with that film session today. Again, if you enjoyed this thing, you're not a subscriber, you're new here, hit the subscribe button and you'll be able to be a part of the Bomb Squad, of this amazing community. If you like what you see, you're not liking it, you're not subscribing, what the hell are you doing? The hell are you doing, man? Be a part of the Bomb Squad, y'all. All right, let me hit this button. Before I hit the button, though, if you want to keep up with your boy, you can keep up with your boy by following the DFW Turf Ticker, the #1 artificial turf in the DFW area. I'm here on Twitter, @SkywalkerSteel. And, of course, you can keep up with Dallas Cowboys at Dallas Cowboys News from A to Z Sports at A2ZSports.com. And make sure I check out my guy, Mauricio Rodriguez, later tonight on A to Z Sports Primetime. Now I'm going to hit the button. Good stuff today. I'll see y'all tomorrow. As soon as I get out of here, gonna give me something to eat. Right back in the film room. I be working for y'all, man. I be working. Because I love y'all. We out of here. Peace.
Bomb Squad!